Morning, everyone. I see a lot of familiar faces in the group. A lot of you have been supporters of Table Grace in the past, but for those of you that are new, my name is Matt Weber, and I'm the CEO of Table Grace Ministries, our nonprofit organization, and the chef at Table Grace Cafe in downtown Omaha. And Table Grace Cafe is a community cafe that's been open now for 5 years. Our mission is nourishing hungry bodies and souls, and we do that by offering great food at no set price for anybody that walks through the door, regardless of economic status or position in life. And I'm curious, I know you've been sort of prepared for us to come. You've seen our quick little video and you've seen the announcements that we're going to be here today, but just by show of hands, other than that, how many of you out there are hearing from us for the first time today? Great, awesome. Cool, well I'm glad to share some of the background with you. I'll be brief with the history, but Simone and I were at First Lutheran Church in downtown Omaha about 8 years ago, and at that time we were involved a bit in the food pantry there, and my job at that time was the chef out at Carol Joy Holland Camp in Ashland, and Simone was leading worship at First Lutheran, and we came to a point where we were feeling called to use our gifts and talents as a couple to serve our community in a new way. And so somehow combining food and music to do something new in the community. And so we came up with this idea for Table Grace Ministries. We just felt a real calling to do that with the mission statement of nourishing hungry bodies and souls through music, and using music as a vehicle to help communicate about some sort of a hunger outreach cause. And the first hunger outreach program we did was out of our church kitchen, and it was a personal chef service for single parent families. So we did that for a while, and some college kids came to volunteer one summer, and one of them told me about a restaurant in Denver called the Same Cafe. And Same stands for So All May Eat, and that was the first time I'd ever heard of a restaurant with no prices. And as a chef, someone who had restaurant experience and someone who thought, well, maybe wouldn't it be fun to work in a restaurant again? This concept is really compelling for me. So I decided I was going to Denver. I visited the Same Cafe and decided we needed to plant a community restaurant in Omaha too. So we did that 5 years ago, and we've been going ever since. We celebrated our 5-year anniversary just this past April. So, and it's really the support of congregations like this that help keep us going. We couldn't do it without you. We accept free will donations for the meals, and we're doing this hunger outreach thing in a restaurant setting. There's a lot of different ways that we can feed the hungry in our communities. There's shelters, there's shelter cafeterias, there's soup kitchen type environments, there's community meals, there's passing food out on the street. Table Grace Cafe is unique because we do this in a restaurant setting, and there's a lot of different reasons why we do that. One of the reasons is we believe that it's important to work with people instead of working for them. And we believe in providing a hand up instead of just a hand out. And we believe in empowering people. We also believe that no matter where people are in life and what their history is or what their socioeconomic status is, we believe everyone has something to offer, no matter who you are. We've all been given gifts by God. Just the fact that we were born onto this earth is a gift. And we all have our own unique gifts and talents, and we also live in a world of great socioeconomic inequality. And if you read much about current events, you know that the statistics go something like this. 1% of the world's population owns more than 50% of the world's resources. So as Christians, as followers of Jesus, we have to ask ourselves, is that right? And if not, what do we do about it? And that's the problem. Okay, I think we can all agree that it's not fair, but what do we do about it? How do we give? And Table Grace is a place that we can give in a unique way. So before I get too much further into it, I would like to share a video with you that gives you some of the sights and sounds of Table Grace and some interviews of folks whose lives have been affected by it. Table Grace Cafe is a community restaurant. We're a restaurant with no prices. We're a restaurant for everyone regardless of their ability to pay.
The people here are awesome. I love them. We're not judgmental here.
Our mission is nourishing hungry bodies and souls. We serve really healthy gourmet pizza, salad, and soup.
Table Grace Cafe is a community restaurant. The difference between this cafe and other restaurants is that there are no set prices on the menu. Instead, patrons are encouraged to donate what they feel their meal is worth, give extra if they have it, or do chores if they don't have money. It is a restaurant for everyone, regardless of economic status. Nestled in the heart of downtown Omaha, between the Woodman and First National Towers, the 3-block radius around 16th and Farnham where the cafe sits is one of the most socio-economically diverse neighborhoods in our city. There are large law firms, banks, state and federal offices, etc., along with homeless persons passing to and from the shelters. 16th and Farnham also hosts the busiest bus stop in Omaha. With so many people of various backgrounds and economic positions, Table Grace Cafe presents an opportunity for people of all walks of life to come together in the same restaurant and help each other. Proper nutrition is a serious and real problem in America. In some places, access to healthy food is a problem as well. Table Grace Cafe provides access to nutritious, high-quality food in a dignified environment to all who participate in its mission. In addition to feeding hungry bodies in downtown Omaha, the cafe also offers a training program for people in search of restaurant work. This is a 10-day volunteer program where participants are given general restaurant training and upon completion of their 10 days, receive a letter of recommendation from our staff, help organizing their resume, and help finding a job.
If people are out there looking for jobs in a restaurant, they can come here and do basically a volunteer training for 10 days. And during those 10 days, they'll learn everything we can teach them about restaurant work here.
It's a complete 180. Before I started at Table Grace, I was more worried about the drugs and everything else, and now I'm about working and actually doing something with my life. As so much has happened to me from working here, and this place is just such a positive influence on my life that
it's getting me back into a work routine. It's getting me brushed up on my culinary. The food's amazing. Hands down, food amazing.
I'm not really a baker, but I'm learning how to bake, and I'm glad they're able to provide me with that opportunity. I think it gives someone the opportunity to have a really nutritious meal rather than going around and asking somebody for 10 cents or 15 cents. And I've lived in downtown Omaha, so I know what it's like to be approached. And they can, even though they may not have anything to offer as far as, material things, they can pay it forward and give their time. I have fulfillment at the end of the day. It just really feels good to do something, knowing that I did something good today.
First came in here and started volunteering, there was a vibe. It was really unique. I saw people coming in that were from off the streets, and I saw a bunch of people that were in a bunch of suits, and I thought that mixture was really interesting because the judgment, there didn't seem to be that judgment around each other.
I have learned more from Africans and addicts, from inmates and the insolvent, than I've ever learned from the great preachers of power and prosperity of this age. Following Jesus means learning to see the world upside down. Of course, this is one of the great gifts of Table Grace Cafe. It is a gift both to the church and to the community. Table Grace is a place for cross-boundary interactions. It's where the suits meet the street people. It's where the orderly connect to the chaotic. It's where the privileged sit with the pariahs. It is where the decent eat with the desperate. Of course, Table Grace offers a taste of what God's kingdom is supposed to look like. And it is a template for what churches in North America must become.
I think I'm one of the lucky people, out there that actually gets to go to work and feel rewarded at the end of the day, I think that what we do, it's amazing work. I really enjoy the people that come in and volunteer, the different people that walk through the door and that I get to meet every day. And like I said, it's just one of those jobs that just makes you feel good,
So it's really good to be part of the church. We heard from Pastor Lowell of Immanuel in Council Bluffs there in the video, and we're blessed to have partnerships with congregations like yours as well. And I'm so happy that Amy shared about the youth mission trip ahead of church today. And you've seen our videos and you've seen pictures of what happens at Table Grace. You heard from people in the video, but Amy had some pictures of some of the types of homes that some of the people in need in our community live, and that puts things into perspective. And so one of the young women in the video, Bonnie, when she came to Table Grace, she was about 8 months pregnant and homeless, and she ended up getting into some trouble with some drug activity that was happening in her home. She ended up going on and participating in the Douglas County Drug Court program. That's a program that gives drug offenders the opportunity to erase the wrongs that they've done and take it off of their criminal history. And she had to do community service for that program. She did those hours at Table Grace. Took her over a year to complete drug court. She graduated. By the time she was done with drug court, she had a job at Table Grace. She had regained custody of her son, and she had her own apartment back again. She was no longer in the shelter. That relationship with Bonnie started by her walking into our door. And we asked Bonnie, we said, "Hey, are you here for lunch today?" And, "Great, would you like to volunteer or would you like to donate money?" And she probably volunteered. She came back, we got to know her name, and that's where the relationship started. And over a year later, a lot of transformation happened. In the 5 years we've been open, now we've helped 2 people graduate from the drug court program in Douglas County. And we have other partnerships that we're blessed with as well to help people get job experience at Table Grace. We partner with VODAC, which is a program for special needs adults. We partner with VR, vocational rehabilitation. And then we've been also helping Messiah Lutheran in Ralston serve meals at the Stevens Center on Friday nights. And we use that as an opportunity to tell people about Table Grace and invite them, and also to share the opportunity of our 10-day program. Recently, one of the people who heard about Table Grace and our 10-day program at the Stevens Center participated and recently graduated. So in the last quarter at Table Grace, we've had about 10 program applicants. We've had 5 people participate, and we've had 3 people graduate this past quarter. So it's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful opportunity. And again, what we're saying about Table Grace is that we're a community restaurant. And that's one thing I want everyone to remember, is that you're invited to come join us for lunch Monday through Saturday from 11 to 2. We need a wide cross-section of the population. So the biggest issue, obviously, the most easy issue for us to understand about what we do is hunger outreach, right? We're providing access to food to people who might not be able to get it. We're doing it in this restaurant setting. By doing that, and by allowing people to give a free will donation, we're also addressing the issue of socioeconomic inequality. Because if you have money, you can pay more than it's worth if you want to. You can pay it forward. If you don't have money, you can still give, and you can still contribute to your community by volunteering and giving us your time in the kitchen. So that's another issue. Another issue is food waste. We live in the breadbasket of the world here in the United States. We have all these resources at our fingertips, and there's plenty of food here in our community. This isn't the case in every community in the world, but here in Omaha, there's plenty of food to go around. We don't have a lack of food. So hunger is not as a result of us not having enough food. It's a result of improper distribution of the resources. So as followers of Jesus, it's our decision how we're going to address that issue. And we've chosen Table Grace Cafe. And we invite you to join us. And we're so grateful for all the support you've already given us in the past. One of the other ways you can support us besides donating this morning, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but we get an average of $3 per person in our donation box for our meals. It costs us about $7 per person to operate the cafe. So if we serve 50 people for lunch, we're short about $200 to make that happen each day. So if you gave a $200 donation this morning, you'd be helping us operate for a day. And that kind of puts it into perspective for you. I want you to know that we live in a paperless society, and I recognize that. So if you didn't bring cash or check today, we can receive your credit card donations, okay? And we also have CDs for sale. A lot of the music you're hearing this morning was written by Simone, and we had the opportunity and the blessing to be able to go to Nashville last summer with our family and record an album called Table Grace Cafe. And you've already heard the song, you're going to hear it again later. And all the proceeds of the sales for those CDs goes directly back into the work we do at Table Grace. So those CDs are available for purchase. I want to remind you that if you want to keep up with us and be on our mailing list, you've got those info cards the ushers passed out. So fill those out and drop them in the donation bucket back there. If you're not going to fill one out, that's fine. Please just give us back the blank cards so that we can reuse them. And I don't know if I forgot anything this time. I always look at Simone when I'm done to see if I forgot something. I don't think I did. So it's the third time we've done this weekend here at Immanuel. So thank you so much for your time and attention. We really enjoy coming here. You're a wonderful, warm, hospitable congregation. We have lots of friends here, so thank you so much for all you do.